All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of In the Cut. I'm your host, Dre Dubs, Dre Smooth, whatever you want to call me. And then, my partner in crime, I got my co-host with me, Sladro. So,
Whoa.
just to kick it off, because we're not going to spend too much time on our teams because they didn't do too well. So, you can, start us off with talking about the Saints and y'all's Sunday night game.
See, you know what? I've given up. I'm hurt. No, I'm just playing. But honestly, I just don't care until Michael Thomas come back. I'm just at that point, as in Drew Brees can't do it anymore. Like, he can't do it by himself. 3-4 years ago, doesn't matter who was out there, he would get it done. But now he needs MT. He needs the whole crew to be there for him to be like as best as he can be. I mean, he didn't play bad, but that's just where I'm at with the Saints. But bright side once again, Kamara's the best player in football, so
Best player on my fantasy team.
I can live with that at the moment. Our DBs are, but that's expected. Saints and DBs don't get along. Cameron Jordan's still missing. I'm hurt, but our first round defensive end from last year, excuse me, should come back this next week. So, like I said, I just give up until MT comes back. It's nothing I can really say about the Saints. I don't even want to talk about them.
It's funny because last year, I think it was week 2 or week 3 when y'all lost Drew Brees against the Rams. This is actually kind of proving why MT deserved the contract that he got, because Brees goes down last year, Bridgewater comes in, and the Saints, I think y'all only lost one game in those 4 weeks that Bridgewater played, and then now here it comes this year. MT's the one now, Brees is still in, and you're 0-2 without him. So it's kind of interesting, but it does prove that, hey, he deserved all the money that he got. But at least your team has a win on their record.
True, barely.
We tied the Bengals, and it was another up and down game from Carson Wentz. There was some good. His fourth quarter was good.
Garbage time.
And even though he still made some questionable throws in the fourth quarter, the Bengals defense just couldn't hang on to the ball. But one thing I've been saying for a while, one thing I've been saying to a lot of people, is that Carson Wentz is at his best when you add the running element to his game. You give him a window where he can run, pick up. Now, he's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a Michael Vick. He's not a Kyler Murray. Like, he's not those type of guys. But he's definitely not a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning back there. Like, you have to respect his running ability. So if you add that aspect to the game, then you help him out and you help the offense out. But some things I see from him, and I think they're correctable. One, he just has to stop focusing on Zach Ertz. Like, I love Zach Ertz. He's, in my opinion, the best tight end in the league. I understand other people are going to say he's top 3, which I'm perfectly fine with, but I'm just going to say he's the best. But you can't find anyone better than him outside of Kittle and Kelsey. But he's got to stop focusing on him, because defenses are picking on that, and once they take him away, now he's got to scramble to try and find his other options. We got to stop getting hurt at the wide receiver position. We've already lost Rager. Jeffries isn't back yet. Jackson's now out. We don't know how long. And so once again, we're right back to where we were at the end of last season. We got practice squad guys and guys that have never played before, back out on the field. But if Doug Peterson does not start running the ball with Miles Sanders, because all the drives that we scored on, we had a well-balanced attack. But all those drives where he came out, he was like, we're going to throw every single play, every single down. It didn't work. Our defense was inconsistent. Our pass rush got there. Granted, the Bengals got the worst offensive line, but our pass rush got there. So that's a good thing. We took advantage of their weakness with our strength. Jalen Mills, the experiment's over. Like, this draft, we have to draft a safety. Like, Jalen Mills needs to put on about 30, 40 pounds and become a linebacker. And then that would be the perfect position for him. But because all his best plays were when he was in the box. But once he has to play coverage, I don't know. I don't know what it is with him, and it's just not working. Slay came up big. He had a huge deflection at the end on AJ Green that basically kept the Bengals from scoring and basically kept them from winning that game. So we finally have a corner. Um, the rest of our
That'd be nice.
corners, the rest of our corners are just like you all, inconsistent. Sometimes not even there, and we have no linebackers. So it's just I'm already counting it a lost season. I'm still hopeful, but I'm
I
hopeful
know
with knowing
it's,
that it's a lost season.
but the good thing is you're only like a half a game out of first or something
Right.
stupid like that. So it's not too far to climb up when the best team's 1-2 in the NFC East. So
Yeah, that's true. But
that's
I
the
mean,
only hope.
the Cowboys are 1-2, and they had a great game against the Seahawks. They just played the Seahawks. Uh, Washington, granted, they shouldn't even have that win. We should have that win. So that's why I'm not too focused on that. And then the Giants are still winless. So yeah, in the heart of the NFC East, we're still in the thick of it, but
Mm-hmm.
our schedule is not easy. So I really think 7-9 is gonna win the NFC East.
I said 6-10 to start the year, and I'm looking like I'm doing good right now.
Yeah.
I'm on the right track.
Now, we talked about when I was comparing Carson Wentz, we talked about Lamar Jackson. So let's go ahead and talk about this Monday night game that no matter what the score tells you, it was kind of disappointing.
It wasn't really close at all. Like Lamar Jackson said, that's their kryptonite. I think I saw a stat where he was 18-1 or something and one against the entire league and like 0-3 against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like you said, it's just their kryptonite. Something about it. It's like the Chargers are the Chiefs' kryptonite, and then the Chiefs are the Ravens' kryptonite. I don't know what it is, but Lamar played terrible by his standards. Like only threw for 95 yards.
Yeah, not
That's
even didn't even hit 100 yards. I
that's
think he ran for almost as much as he threw for.
that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So I don't know. It's week 3, so I'm not gonna overreact on it, but it's becoming concerning because they don't have any answer for the Chiefs, offensively or defensively. They
Right.
beat the defense to stop the Chiefs, and they didn't stop the Chiefs. So
And it's
that's
it's
not
funny.
good.
It reminds me of what Joel Embiid says. Like every time the Celtics and Sixers play in the playoffs, everyone wants to quote it as a rivalry and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, it's not a rivalry because we never win. Like, and that's kind of what I get in this situation. Like, granted, everyone because two young quarterbacks, two great quarterbacks, the last two MVPs, Mahomes being the Super Bowl winner, and all that kind of stuff. So everyone wants this to be the next rivalry. Everyone wants this to be the next Brady and Manning.
Mm-hmm.
But Mahomes and the Chiefs have pulled it out every single time. Now, granted, the score is always close in a sense. I think the very first matchup, the Chiefs actually had to come back to win.
Mm-hmm.
But the last two matchups, like it's been the Chiefs had a huge lead, and then the Ravens would come back, but the Chiefs would ultimately still win in the end.
Also, to give Lamar some help, I think that they just need a true number one receiver. Like I like Hollywood, I like Andrews as a tight end, but usually if your tight end is your number one guy, then it's going to show itself. Like showed
Look at
itself with the
us.
49ers, the Eagles. Like if the tight end is the number one guy, it even showed it with the Patriots. They just happened to win because they only gave up 10 points or 3 points in a in a Super Bowl. But yeah,
Right.
usually if the tight end is your best like receiving threat, it's not going to work long term because they're always basically in the middle of the field, so you can kind of stop that. So
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood, I mean, he's a nice deep threat, but he's not a true number one.
Right.
AB season, that's all I'm saying. Call him
I
up.
was about to ask you, is this when you
Call him
call up
up.
AB?
I would. I mean, who cares at this point? Like it's a Rona season. Like it's just do
Hey,
what
we
you
haven't
got to
heard his
do.
name in the news in a while,
I
so
know my man's laying low. He's
yeah.
laying low. He's trying. He's in fake rehab right now. They probably
I
just took his
mean,
phone.
and if they don't want to do AB, granted, he's not the best route runner, but Dez is out there. He's at least a
No,
big body receiver.
no. Off at Achilles, no. Stay where you're at.
How long has he
If
been
I
out the
mean,
league? What, 2 years now? 2 seasons?
and he's coming off a torn Achilles. A-okay on that. But if they wanted to get tricky, call up the division rivals Bengals. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. AJ Green, hey man, 0-2-1. Like a couple more losses. Like he's on a 1-year franchise deal. See
Mm-hmm.
if you can try to rent him for 8 games and try to make a push there. that's about the only thing I can see him doing trade-wise, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know any other wide receivers on the market. I mean, if our season goes
Jeffrey,
any worse, they could get Alshon. Let's see.
they can come get Michael Thomas too. They send Marlon Humphrey, Lamar, and 17 first-round picks. I'm with it.
They might need to for that salary cap. Like, but it's wild. It's been a wild NFL season as we've been talking. It's still weird to watch games with no fans. The fake crowd noise it's just not there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of my same thing I think with the bubble. You know, when there's no fans, and we'll get to the NBA in a moment, but when there's no fans, momentum doesn't actually last as long as it can or as it should. Fans have a huge impact on the game, and I think that's affecting a lot of teams. But the last thing we'll talk about with the NFL is, so we kind of got our first COVID outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on how the NFL reacted to it?
I mean, they did all they could do, basically. Shut down both teams' facilities until Saturday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Give them like 4 or 5 days. So, I mean, basically you only can shut everything down and hope players are staying home and doing everything possible to, like, you know, not spread it or not, you know, do whatever. But I don't see how, if they got COVID, I mean, they're going to be done for at least 2 weeks. If that's how long it takes, you know, for it to get in and out your system. I'm sure they're testing every day. But, I mean, I think they did as best they can. I don't know about now the actual playing the game. That's going to be tough because I've been saying Monday or Tuesday, but guys are going to be all 4 to 5 days and then try to game plan Sunday, travel Monday, play the night. Like, that's going to be bad. So it actually may be better for them that they're not practicing, honestly, since you're all beat up after NFL games. Who knows? I'll be interested in that game, though, to see how it actually plays.
So I have 2 things to say about that. One, for the reaction of it, I think the NFL did an okay job. The only problem I have is that they told, well, I know the Steelers play the Titans. I don't know who the Vikings play this coming week, but they did tell the Steelers, hey, continue playing or continue practicing, continue your week as if you're to play on Sunday. And there's just so many different reports that came out. At first, they said it was 8 confirmed positive or 8 positive tests. Then today they come out and they say it's only 2 positive tests after returning everybody. So the NFL has had an issue where they have a lot of false positive tests, which you know begs to differ. Like, hey, like, are there people that actually have COVID that are coming back with negative tests that you're saying don't have COVID?
Of course.
The other thing about it is, then there was a report. I don't know how true the report is. There was a report that came out that said the Titans even knew that one of their players had COVID, and they had him play anyway. To me, that's just straight neglect, if that's even true, because you could have affected the entire team, both teams, you know, in that aspect. So it's just, you know, there's so many different reports. We don't, obviously, with certain things with COVID and certain things with people's health records and stuff, we can't know everything. But with some of the things that came out, like, we don't know. So the NFL does have to get a little bit better. They definitely have to get better with these tests in the sense of they can't keep having all these false positives and all this kind of stuff, because you affect way too much in such a short time frame. But it is also proof. A lot of people that talked about those players that opted out, this situation right here is proven to them where they're like, this is why I didn't play. Like, granted, everything's gone well, but the moment you have that one outbreak and you can't even truly trace it or know what's real and what's not, this is why.
I agree. I agree.
So, but we'll see what's going on. Like you said, it's only week 3. This week coming up, we've got the 49ers on Sunday night. Even though they're not at full capacity, I am still not looking forward to that game.
I think Kittle and Deebo Samuel might be back. Possibly. They're both questionable. So
yeah.
You know.
The only thing I think Mullins is starting at quarterback. So even though he played well against the Giants, it's the Giants. So I'm like, look, we gotta go out there. We gotta rattle him. We gotta do what we gotta do. We have to feature Miles Sanders that game. And other than that, we just gotta.
If we lose to the Lions, I'm done. This season's over. Season is over with if we lose to the Lions. I'm done.
Especially if the Bucks win.
For me. Yeah. At least we own the tiebreaker. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only hope I got. I've been making fun of the Falcons all year. We have the same record. It's just hate to see that.
So, just like we do every week, who you got for MVP?
MVP. Well, I'll start. All right. Well, number one is a tie. So 3 is Alvin Kamara for me. I'll just start there. 3 is Alvin Kamara. I know we're 1 and 2. Don't care. He's like first in touchdowns. Like it's first in. He's like number 5 in receiving yards this year as a running back. Like everything he does, he's the only reason we're 1 and 2. Honestly, like we'll be probably 0 and 4 in 3 games without him. That's how bad we've been playing. And then 1, I mean, it's hard. I've not been putting Mahomes in MVP categories, but it's time for him to get inserted.
Right.
Him and Russell Wilson are 1A, 1B. Aaron Rodgers is 1C. Like, it's just, I don't know. Them 3 right now. It's a quarterback award, so
yeah,
I'll not even pretend to not put quarterbacks there. But Rodgers, Mahomes, Wilson, whoever you want, flip a coin. Mahomes is Mahomes. Wilson's on pace for 70-plus touchdowns. Like, Rodgers is undefeated, I believe. I don't know.
Yep.
They're just pick who you want. I don't care. It's not Drew Brees. I can tell you that. So that's my ones.
So my list, I think it is all quarterbacks. And I think this is the first week that I'm all quarterback. I still got Russell Wilson number 1, and he's in sole place at number 1. Just because, like you said, he's on pace for 70 some odd touchdowns. We know he's not going to throw for 70 some odd touchdowns. But that's still crazy. I think, with Brady and Manning, when they broke, the records in their respective years, he's already outpaced what they're at right now. So him being at 50 some odd touchdowns, close to what Mahomes had a couple years ago, it's not unrealistic whatsoever. The Seahawks they're playing well, even when they get into situations where, hey, we got to get a play, we got to get stopped, because it's not like they're all blowouts. Like, they were close against the Patriots, they were close against the Cowboys, and Russell Wilson still is efficient as ever. So he's able to bail out, whatever, discrepancies they have in the defense and everything. Mahomes is number 2. Like, the man can't do any wrong, and even when he does wrong, it turns right. Like, It's just, it's crazy. His whole story is just crazy. And then I've got Rodgers at number 3. Rodgers, he's playing like he's proving everybody, like, look, y'all keep talking about my age, my team drafted Love. Like, everyone keeps saying that I'm on the out. Skip Bayless says that I'm not the same. I can't throw anymore. Like, he's on a revenge tour this season. Everyone he plays, like, he's like, I'm going out here and I'm showing out. And I think, and he did it without Devontae Adams. Like, so
Yep.
That's what I got. For Rookie of the Year, Joe Burrow's still number 1 for me. Even though they lost, he played well against us. He had some Houdini plays against us. He was looking like a rookie Carson Wentz with the way that he was moving out there and doing things to the defense. That I was like, man, I miss those days from Carson. And really, I don't have any other rookies that are standing out. Justin Jefferson had a good game, but it's 1 out of 3, and it's hard for receivers to win that. Running backs have been inconsistent. Like, Taylor had an okay game. It's Burrow's award to lose, pretty much. And now with Chase Young being hurt, and we don't know how long he's going to be out for, but with Chase Young being out, it's Burrow's to lose.
See, your list is almost identical to mine, except I don't have Burrow on it. No one's on it. No one played well enough for me to mention him in the Rookie of the Year. So we'll have to see. I have no one on my Rookie of the Year list. I didn't everybody was just there.
Well, I'll throw this caveat at you, and I meant to say it when I was talking about MVPs, because we talked about it in the SGA podcast. Is Josh Allen being considered for MVP?
Yes. He's under Alvin Kamara for me, so he's 5.
Okay.
He is 5 for me.
Yeah, we all had a mixed reactions, mixed views on it. I think everyone said that he should definitely be considered. He's not above Mahomes and Wilson, but he should definitely be considered, with the fact that the Bills are undefeated. They had a huge lead against the Rams. Rams came back, took the lead, and then, he brought them back and got the lead, all that kind of stuff. So he's played well. He's more fumbles than interception. I think on his one interception on the year. But hey, he's doing his thing. So yeah, he should be in that consideration.
He's probably been the fourth best quarterback this year behind the Mahomes, Rodgers, and Wilson. I don't think anyone else has played better. Honestly.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So today, because this will go live today, so we are recording this on Wednesday. This is the first day of the NBA Finals. Game one. My team did not make it.
Haven't won a championship since the crack era.
So we won't be able to see the LA-Boston rivalry in the finals. Not this year. Nope. But we've got a good finals. And, Lakers versus Heat, no matter what you think about the Heat, they didn't get here, by chance. They've been playing extremely well in the bubble. They've been playing extremely well in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra has, done a great job coaching-wise and with adjustments. And I think in this situation, the Celtics had the players and the personnel to match up with the Lakers, but the Heat have the coaching to match up against the Lakers. Because if there's anyone that can game plan against LeBron, it's Spoelstra. So I think my prediction is the Lakers will win unless it goes 7 games. If it goes 7 games, the Heat have been doing something right, and they're gonna pull it out in Game 7. But it won't be a sweep because Spoelstra, he will game plan a win, at least a win for the Heat.
He'll get a win. But that's all they get. It's going to be 5 games, gentlemen sweep. Every series, Portland, Denver. Jesus, I can't even remember who we played in the second round. The games are going by so quick.
Yeah. Rockets.
Right. The Rockets, God, that series was so fast that it blew my, all series are 5 games. This one, no different. 5 games, everybody. They're just that much better. You got 2 top 5 players. Nothing you can do. And above average coach, above average role players, 2 top 5 guys. It's Shaq and Kobe era all over again. Lakers in 5. Won't be a close series. We'll win game 5 by 19 points, 20 points. Parade's going to be October 11 in LA. Wish I could be there. COVID parade's going to be lit. So, yeah. I don't see the Heat best 2 players are at the same position as the Lakers best 2 players. Mm-hmm. And the gap is considerable between those 2 players. But I'll give the Heat some credit. I think if Dragic and Crowder can get hot, they can go to 6. But they have to knock down shots.
That's the thing.
Has to turn into Final Ziggy. It's a thing. Final Ziggy is a thing. If he turns into that, then. But I also agree if it gets to 7, I'm scared. That's why I needed it to be 5 because
that's the issue. Because even though it wasn't the finals, it was the Eastern Conference Finals. And, finals Iggy showed up. That man was 5 for 5 and 4 for 4
trying to get it over with
against us. And then, I've been saying that for the Heat to have a chance, granted, Bam has to play well because the one game that Bam didn't play well, that's when we got back into the series. And then Butler's just got to be Butler. He doesn't have to be Butler offensively. He does need to do more offensively, but he doesn't have to be the top scorer. But he does have to be their best defensive player because he's going to get not the 100% time, but he's going to be the main person that's going to have to be going against LeBron and things like that. But the Heat, what the advantage that they have is on the wing, they have shooters. And probably if you want to pick something negative about the Lakers, outside of LeBron and AD, their wing defenders aren't always consistent, especially if anyone's up against Kuzma. So, if Kuzma has a defensive lap and they let people get on a hot streak, Harrow or Robinson, that can be those are the type of games that the Heat can win.
Duncan Robinson, he scares me the most this series because against the Celtics, you really couldn't hide him. You couldn't put him on Kemba, can't put him on Smart, can't put him on Brown, can't put him on Tatum. So, he has to defend somebody.
Right.
The Lakers, he can just go guard Danny Green. He's just going to stand in the corner anyway. He can guard KCP. He can go hide somewhere and just guard one of them. Or he can guard Caruso when he's on the court. He can't really shoot. He's guard Rondo, honestly, because he's not really a shooter.
Right.
But the Celtics, he really couldn't hide on anyone. to defensively. With the Lakers, he's going to play a lot more minutes because he can stay on the court because he's not going to be getting killed defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not feel like chasing him around the three-point line. So, yeah, he actually scares me more than Hero and Dragic this series just because they can hide him defensively.
So you got Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. Gentlemen,
I'm gonna say Lakers in 6.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already said that if this goes 7.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Now, Kyrie's not here to hit the game-winning shot, so I don't want it. I don't want it.
And this would be, and no matter how much, everyone already knows MJ's my GOAT. I have nothing against LeBron,
Lord.
but MJ's my GOAT. But LeBron has to win this series.
Oh, yeah, he loses this. If LeBron loses this, I'm taking him out my top 5. I'm serious. I have to.
Like, there is absolutely no way you can lose this series.
3 for 10 against Jimmy Butler? He's not a top 10 player in the league. Like, they don't have a top 10 guy over there.
No.
Every other series you've lost, at least they've had, like, a top 10 guy.
Because
like Dallas was the only one where it was just one top 10 and a bunch of great role players. But, yeah.
Like, because everyone else, you've got the Spurs, great team, great players, great coach. You have the Warriors, great team, and great players. So, it is what it is. But I think this is the easiest matchup.
This is the easiest finals he'll ever have.
Yeah.
And with the help that you have.
And that's even considering, the young Thunder team that he went up against. Because, KD was still KD. Russ and Harden weren't necessarily who they are now. But, that was a trifecta. And they had Ibaka. So.
Yeah, Harden disappeared that series. Shocker. He was just foreshadowing for us how he's going to play in big games. But, yeah, I agree. He has to win this. Like, he has to win this. This is probably top 3 pressure, series for him, too. Because the last 2 finals against the Warriors haven't been pressure.
Right.
The one against Cleveland against the Spurs wasn't pressure. The Dallas one was pressure, and he lost. And then the one with the Spurs was pressure, which they split. So other than that, I don't think he's had, this is going to be his third most, or probably second. The math was the biggest pressure he's ever, faced, and he folded under it. So
yeah,
this is pressure for him. But at least he has AD. I'll give him that. So he has a bailout. And I think this is a big series for AD, too, because he wants to be mentioned with the Garnetts and the Dirks and, ETC. Garnett, Dirk only have 1 ring, so you kind of prop yourself up into that stratosphere. You're only 27. Played at the MVP.
Yeah, if he gets this ring, all he'll have to get is that MVP.
You're basically halfway there. The numbers, you're gonna put up numbers. He's gonna do that. Numbers are never gonna be the issue. Just need probably MVP, a defensive player of the year, and then you're getting those top 20 conversations soon. So.
Yeah. So. Like I said, tonight, 9:00, game 1, 9:00 Eastern, game 1. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep you guys updated on everything going on. Hopefully, in these upcoming weeks, our teams will be doing so much better, and we can have some positive things.
Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. So yeah, next time. Oh, series might be over next time we come. A week. Yeah, we might get them out of here in 4. So we might be celebrating on the podcast. Might be dubbed, or it might be 2-1 or 3-1. Who knows?
Yeah, so pretty much next week, Sladro will either be celebrating, I'll either be laughing, or Game 7's about to be coming up, and there's gonna be a whole lot of sweating.
Nervous. I think we might do something live for Game 7. Honestly,
I feel that.
That'd be dope. But yeah.
All right, that's all we got for y'all this week.
That's a wrap.
We understand that the MLB playoffs just started. Yankees destroyed Cleveland last night.
I want to bet on that game, honestly. Once I see Cole on the mound, I'm like, all right, I got some money to spend.
Yeah.
Because he's probably gonna win.
So we'll see how that how the playoffs go, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit more. But
the only way we'll touch on the playoffs if the Astros win again, because that's gonna be hilarious. That's the only way I'm really caring about the playoffs, honestly. If the Astros win again, that's good content.
If the Astros win again, or obviously if the Yankees win, but other than that,
I don't care.
that's it. So yeah,
Got nothing else.
we'll catch you guys next week. Make sure you follow us on social media on all of our SGA channels, both Twitter at Sports Games Anon, Instagram Sports Gaming Anonymous. I'll put the Discord link in the description box.
Yeah,
Join the Discord. You can chat it up with us in the cut. You can join in the other channels and chat it up with us there. Other than that, I've been Dre. That's Slaydro.
Pedro
We'll see you guys next week.
in a good.